Greetings, friends. Welcome to the Capricorn Festival Meditation for Common Good meeting. Apologies for the delay starting. There was overlay in meeting running, and so many things happening at this time. So many things are changing, and we learn to rapidly adapt to this new world. Today is the last day of the 5 days period of the Capricorn Solar Festival. And we use today opportunity to come together to invoke the vision of the unfolding plan. The topic for our work in the Capricorn-Aquarius cycle is sharing as manifesting of brotherhood. We follow the rhythm of bringing our focus to 3 main themes that we consider in our work. 3 themes that were offered by Master Joel Kuhl as 3 prerequisites for the externalization of the hierarchy and reappearance of the Christ. Sharing, manifesting principle of sharing is one of this, along with right relationship and cleaning the house of religion and politics. And so in the signs of the fixed cross of which Aquarius is the part, we're considering the principle of sharing. And as our work is mainly focused on the meditation that we hold during the new moon, the sign in which the new moon occurs defines our theme of focus. And so therefore the sharing as manifesting of brotherhood is our main focus in this cycle. And today we invoke through our meditation the vision of what is there for humanity. And we ask the guidance of the elders, the planetary elders, to impress us and direct our work. And as always, we start our work by sounding this statement of purpose.
Since Brigitte isn't here today, at this right now, she may join us later. She wasn't able to be here right now. I can go ahead and read the purpose for our group. So the purpose for the meditation of the common good is to magnetize the ideas of common good, freedom, and brotherhood as the highest values of humanity at this time. We recognize and cherish diversity of perspectives in our group, creating a space capable of invoking, receiving, interpreting, and radiating a higher synthetic vision. We serve as an ashramic outpost, building a group bridge of Buddhic energy. We evoke the soul of humanity as we envision humanity as being the seed that is flowering. And we prepare the way for the reappearance of the coming one. So as we move on, the next thing that we are going to do is review the seed thoughts that came from our first quarter moon meeting. After we had our meditation and discussion, these were the seed thoughts and that came from impressions that were received during this period of reflection, concentration, and receiving. There were actually 12 seed thoughts that came through. Number 1, sharing of energy through more or less distorted thought forms or ideas. Excuse me. Sharing is a sacrifice. Sharing is the soul's recognition of unity and collective well-being. Sharing divine flow. You receive and not expecting anything in return. Sharing our sound and listening for the harmony. Sharing, giving from the heart. Spontaneous joy. Sharing the human experience. Our souls share not with a sense of sacrifice, but with great joy. Bearing the spirit towards right human relationships. Sharing involves the individual and the group. Without the individual, there would be no need to share. It involves recognition of needs and interests of self and other, and can be blossomed through the attitude of gratitude. And the final seed thought. It takes courage to bring the higher to lower, and to express it following the flow of rhythm and cycles in the right time, in the right proportion. As we keep these thoughts in mind, we are now going to move on to our meditation, which Katya has agreed to lead for this cycle. So I'm going to turn it over to Katya at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. How's my sound?
It's good.
That's good. Okay, good. Just my apologies, because my voice is a little bit off. I might be coughing a little bit, so yes. Okay. So sharing. If you could just take 1 second just to get some water. I apologize. Can you please say the topic?
Yes, the topic for this cycle that we retrieved or created, I should say, through the seed thoughts that were offered that I just read. Our topic for this cycle is sharing, manifesting brotherhood. It was interesting that almost every thought that came through the word sharing was noted to be said several times. So
Mhm. Thank you, Tracy.
sure.
Um, and since we are standing in the Capricorn light, let us invoke the energy of Capricorn to aid us in this work. Let us sense the warmth of the group heart. Let us hold the chalice up on high. And let us invoke the impressions and energies which will guide and support the common good of humanity and our planet at this time. Our intention is to be of service, assisting humanity with all planetary life and activity as we focus together as a group in preparation to receive higher thoughts, impressions, and energies that will be later distributed at the time of the new moon. So visualize this full moon in Capricorn affecting our next new moon in Aquarius. Let us begin now by aligning our heart, our ajna, and our soul. From the group soul, we align, focusing on the group heart and group ajna, building group antakarana. Let's connect now with the hierarchy and all the unseen beings and souls who aid our invocative and evocative efforts on behalf of our service to humanity and all planetary life. We lead our minds and group mind into quiet receptivity to hierarchical energies, ideas, and impressions that are especially available to us during the full moon tide at this time.
Katya, you are muted. Please unmute.
As we work across this month, for the full moon in Capricorn, to the new moon in Aquarius, we become receptive and aware of the energies available that will assist our work. The Capricorn is the main distributor of the energy of will. The energies of the first ray, third ray, fifth ray, and brings humanity this note of highest point of evolution and the lowest depths of matter, depending which way is directed the cycle. But as we work with the highest energies, keeping in mind the depths of the matter, the line of Capricorn and Cancer, two gates, the gates of incarnation and the gates of initiation. Some very important lines of energies for all working disciples. And if we see as a third point of that as Aquarius, we see how a consciousness, mass consciousness, incarnated in Cancer, developed in Leo, tested in Scorpio, initiated in Capricorn, moves to Aquarius for service. And through this energy, we realize the true meaning of the word brotherhood, true meaning of the word sharing, shared soul, shared one life. So standing in this supernal light, turning our receiving end to that, and projecting through our seven centers, those seven lines of energy. Let us connect with our topic for this month. sharing, manifesting brotherhood. As we deepen our contemplation of our topic, let us ponder on the following questions. All forms in the solar system form part of the whole and are not isolated units. This is the basis of brotherhood, of the communion of saints, and of astrology. How can we share and manifest that as a group? All forms in the solar system form part of the whole and are not isolated units. This is the basis of brotherhood, of the communion of saints, and of astrology. How can we bring sharing and manifesting of this principle? Second, the energy of the Buddhic plane. How can we use it practically in sharing? And is it enough? The energy of the Buddhic plane. How can we use it in sharing? And is it enough? And the third one, the 7 rays, being each the recipient and custodian of energies coming from the universe, bring in the basic concept of interrelation, of intercommunication, and interdependence, of cooperative responsibility and of service. These relationships, as we well know, underlie the principle of brotherhood. How can we practically manifest it? The 7 rays, being each the recipient and custodian of energies coming from the universe, bring in the basic concept of interrelation, of intercommunication, of interdependence, of cooperative responsibility, and of service. This relationship underlie the principle of brotherhood. How can we practically manifest it? It is time now to return from the depths of our pondering. As we draw together the impressions from our contemplation, let us allow them to take form. They may come to us as words, pictures, symbols, sound, or even color. Drawing our impression, colors. So let us focus on our impressions. Drawing our impressions together, we now rest in silence for a few more minutes. We see our impressions flowing together into the group heart, filling our chalice and vitalizing it with radiant light, enhancing its beauty and the wisdom of its tone. We direct this light upward to the hierarchy and avail their blessings upon it. And now, realizing our invocation today, we witness its radiance pouring downward from our chalice into the lower planes, stimulating all receptive hearts and minds. Grounding our work in the energies we have invoked today, let us sound the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. As we close our work today, let us identify with the soul in all and apply our efforts to be in accordance with the divine will. We send forth the results of our efforts, thoughts, love, and the energy of the group work to help humanity and our earth in all its diversity and ultimate unity through its transformational journey into the sacred. We do this through focused direction of energy from our group ajna, sending the light out to high beings, to other spiritual groups, to the soul of humanity, and to all sentient beings as we assist the forces of light.
Thank you, Katya. Thank you, everyone. Let's hold a few more moments in silence to write down our impressions before we open our sharing time. At this point in time, the Community Impressions Board is not quite ready yet, but we will definitely be having it ready soon. So we will just spend the next few minutes of our time together, sharing with each other, and at a later date, the Community Impressions Board will be open. So just a few more moments of silence, and then Alexander will open up the sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, friends. So let us open our share now, holding our focused on the group heart.
This is Annette. We are all connected with through the etheric body and the etheric network. That is why astrology is working, because we are all unconsciousness, unconscious, connected to each other. If we are sharing a in a conscious way, we need to be sure that our motive is for the good. Otherwise, it is black magic. So that is all I have to say now.
I'll just say that as I listened to Katya today, it was so apparent how much we create the highest intention to share in all of our groups, in the wholeness of the planetary serving group. We share. That is our intention. And in that intention, we trust that we are doing everything that we can. And I pause in that everything because one of the questions that continued to come into my mind as we were meditating was the question of, is it enough? And enough is such a part of a component of sharing. I believe when one shares that there is no quantity that is a part of that, that there's no degree in how much or how little, but really how much we share. That if we share, that goes out into the collective as a very important part of goodness, and that the intention to share and the sharing that we do, no matter how big or small, is enough. And I think in this planetary serving group, our hearts are invested in sharing. That's what we do. And when it became the question of more cosmic sort of flow that comes down and our opportunity to receive that, I was brought to just the intention that we hold with great trust and with great love that our telepathic service is working between all of the planetary serving groups and out into the manifested consciousness of humanity. We share. That's what we do.
Well, I have to say, when I started this pondering the questions for our work, I was amazed how vast is this manifesting brotherhood and sharing. goes. So it's just literally the principle on which we live, have being, and not only us as a planet, but systems. It was not easy to formulate, and I apologize for that. I'll try to work more on the questions along the way for the end of the day today. So, but also what I had in my ponderings was the aspect of triplicity, which also comes through sharing, because it is this flow of energy through the triangle, from the principle of triplicity, and it just also opens up an amazing potency, because that's, I think, where we're stuck as a as humanity, really, because we severed ourselves from that triplicity, and our way is back to it. And it's also a huge subject, and the sharing in that plays an enormous role, because it allows the flow go directed, not just back and forth or between, but through, starting with the great beings to lower planes and the lower kingdoms, everything. So thank you very much, and again, to be developed.
May I share something, Katya?
Sure, I'm done.
Well, I just want to say no apologies are in order, because you are bringing an inner truth through the way in which things are prepared at this time. There is so much, as Alexander said, there's so much going on, and there's so much input. So I think all of us value so much just the continuity and the inclusiveness that you gave us. And I'll share my impressions. I'll put them on the board because they came through rather clearly today. I was and actually pulled out the few sentences that are at the beginning of the Agni Yoga final book, Brotherhood. And I'll say these slowly and then add my thoughts. That which is most sacred surrounds the concept of brotherhood, which for me is the sharing that you described. That which is most joyful lives in the consciousness that there exists cooperation of knowledge. And I think that all of us are drawn together with a common kind of knowledge of the ageless wisdom and a shared sense of purpose. And he says also, such thought affirms that somewhere there are living true co-workers. And let us recall the fundamentals which lead to brotherhood. And I think one of the things that this group and the other groups, affiliated groups, have been able to surface for us, the faces, the names, the voices of our true co-workers. So I have no fear of there being the opposite of white magic involved. In the first sloka of Brotherhood, he points out that the difficulty in our daily lives is assimilating an understanding of cooperation, so that we can truly begin to understand what world brotherhood is. And it seems to me that the very fact that the list of 12 ideas, all related to sharing, was generated in the spirit of cooperation and exemplifies this, for me, manifestation of brotherhood among the various groups and across the live Zoom meetings and the meditations. that are shared both in person and subjectively among the members. We participate across borders, across language differences, across cultural orientations, across organizational affiliations, across alignment with a particular project, across our study practices, all of us together in this world brotherhood, preparing for this year, this moment, this time. So the questions to me were very important. And now we can renew and set new directions in service. The challenge will be to continue to transcend our personal, our individual, and those focalized groups and subgroups that we're so comfortable with, so attached with. Our subtle approaches are so ingrained in us, and our interpretations, some of which may have be crystallized from the past or brought in to be broken up in this life. And so to really recognize our forms that we're attached to that could inhibit as we move forward. Agni Yoga, he uses the analogy, it's the blood ties that are actually the inhibition to brotherhood. It's that, that familiarity, those that we're closest with, those we're most comfortable with, that separates us from true cooperation and brotherhood. And it may inhibit the expansion of what is in the teachings called this network of light that binds us in radiant friendship. So our ability to move together into a greater unity, to be the highest expression of that which we share, and that means practically to exemplify it in all that we do, incorporating the expressions of the many that we don't have direct contact with in this, like this meeting, but that we hear and we know from other meetings. And I'm thinking immediately of the meeting where those from South America were engaged in expressing their projects. I think of the Soul of Nations yesterday, Japan, the beautiful rendering of what can be shared and sensed and known together. So if we practically express these ideas and make the connections, make the relationships, the points of agreement, make them really visible and real on this global platform in a way that can be expanded. And I think of, my last thought was that statement out of Meditation 4. We strive for understanding, let wisdom take the place of knowledge in our lives. And I think that's what we are about. Those are my thoughts today.
Thank you, friends. Indeed, it's a very resonant topic. How do we manifest the brotherhood? So let us hold this topic and the questions that Katya offered us in our group field, in our group chalice, group heart. We will have a quarter moon meeting. Tracy, can you please remind me the date when we agreed to have the quarter moon meeting? If you have your notes.
Let me look.
Don't
Well,
know if we
mm.
decided on the dates yet.
So we'll send the announcement then separately about the coming day of our quarter moon meeting, where we'll have a chance to further share our impressions, reflecting together on these questions. And in the chat, you can find the link to the community board, which is now available. And the question that Katya offered are already on the community board. So please hold those questions and we continue our work. And as always, as we close in our work, I invite if anyone would like to sound a mantra of your choice to close our work today.
Okay, I guess I'll close us out. The sons of men are one, and we are one with them. We love, we serve, and not exact due service. We heal. The end of pain has come and brings due reward of love and light. The soul now controls the outer form, life, and all events, which brings to light the love that underlies the happenings of the time. Vision and insight clearly reveals the future. Inner union demonstrates, and outer cleavages are now gone. Love prevails, and all is love. Om.